The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Wake up, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Ladies, y'all know the drill. Good morning. What's up? Wake up! Wake up!
Yeah, I need it today.
You need it.
She said she's sleepy.
Wake
I eat.
up! I have to catch myself a little bit this morning. Wake up! Are you okay?
Yeah.
She's just sleepy. That's all.
Sometimes
Really
you
in the
just
middle of
have
the week?
eepy days.
She'll wake up soon here.
That's unfortunate.
Come on, she's not. She's terrible.
I am. I know. I do know we're waiting for a soundbite to hear about the defense because I know we've stuck with defense talks yesterday, and of course the Cowboys take on the Carolina Panthers, an offense that is starting to kind of figure some things out, and the Cowboys, of course, are off their their best performance defensively of the 2025 season. So I want to stick with that conversation. And while we wait to hear from Shadi, I do want to ask you ladies first, through the first 5 weeks of the season, what would you kind of grade or how would you assess Matt Eberflus so far in this defense?
Brie.
I don't want to jump the gun. I mean, it hasn't been pretty for 4 straight games. And then they got it together, and I kind of get both sides of it. Like this is like the good building block. This is the things that you want to see from certain players. We've been talking about it last 2 days. The people who showed up that you've been waiting to show up. The Dante Fowlers, Donovan Ezeraku taking steps, right? Sam Williams overall probably having one of his better games outside. There's some penalty issues. He gets a little overwhelmed. Maris Leofau setting the tone there. Jack Sanborn comes out, right? So there was a lot to build on, but the grade is not good. I mean, we've had 5 games.
But they're still rusty and dusty. In a way.
It was the Jets.
Yeah.
So now let's see how they put these pieces together. But it's pretty fair to say, I know we're going to get into the Panthers, but the Panthers, as much as we're talking about winnable games, as I do think this is a team they should beat, they happen to have 2 wins. Cowboys happen to have 2 wins. I mean, the teams that they've beaten, the Cowboys obviously got the win over the Jets and then the Giants. And the Panthers, they beat the Falcons and then they beat the Dolphins. So, I mean, this is going to be a good test for both because both these teams want to be in playoff contention. And yes, it's early, but when other teams around you are stacking wins, you don't want to be the one falling behind because then it only gets harder from here. So, the grade, I don't know, C's get degrees, C minus.
I'm screaming.
I don't
C's
think
get degrees. My mom ain't play that.
Yeah, mine either.
What you got?
No, mine didn't either. My grandma didn't play that. But
Yeah.
I think, I mean, for me, it would be a C minus.
That's being nice.
And if they keep playing these games, it's going to go back to a D if they don't figure out the run defense because the run defense has been better, we felt like. But last week I felt like, this past Sunday, I did feel like they took a step back in that department, even though they were able to they were able to get after the passer. And we heard Kenny Clark talk about in the locker room. It's just, the offense being able to score allows them to, kind of pin their ears back. And, they feel like they have guys that can rush the passer when they're given a chance. But stopping the run is essential. In regard to Eberflus, I think I said yesterday that when you listen to him, I listened to him talk last Thursday, he mentioned, just availability and, trying to get guys back. And I think he's still trying to get a feel for what guys do well, what guys don't work well in certain things, in certain situations. We saw him run a little bit more cover 2 last week. He let these guys do a little bit more jamming at the line of scrimmage. I think that helped out your pass rush. I just think a lot of what we saw last week had to do more with, respectfully, more with your offense putting pressure on that offense so the Jets offense to have to pass, and the pass rushers being able to get after it, than it had to do with the defense just because they're still struggling to get off the field on third down. And to Bree's point about the Panthers, the offense is the difference. Both defenses are not particularly playing well, and even when we look ahead to the Panthers, they're not rushing the passer well either, and it shows in their overall defense. So I would give it a C minus. Some of the changes that I think need to be made are more about personnel, and that may not be humans in the
room.
Yeah, it may not be people in the room, because I just think for what his scheme calls for and the things he's asking, if you don't have it, you don't got it. And right now, you don't have a veteran. You don't have a single veteran linebacker that's playing well for you.
And I think the difference too between the tie and the win is that the defense, like I keep saying, has to be serviceable. Like nobody's asking this defense to be great right now.
They don't have to
just be serviceable, because your offense is doing everything. And I think, what was it? Was it no punt? I don't think Green Bay punted. Or was it 0 punts?
Yeah, Dallas got some stops later in the game.
Yeah, so
some key ones that I thought was big, but yeah.
The difference is then letting, these offenses just go down, move the ball downfield, and do what they want. So that's all you need the Cowboys defense to do right now. Yeah. So I think that's going to your point when you're looking at how they get out of this with the W next week, is let the offense keep doing what they're doing and let the defense be serviceable until they figure things out. Maybe they do make a signing. Obviously, there's some key players coming back in the next couple of weeks, if you will. Yeah. So shout out to Matty Eberflus. I mean, you do have to give him his flowers. He didn't just stick to his plan. He's listening to his players, seeing what he's got. So yeah.
I think it's just from the. I won't say that. I think it's more so like. I had to backtrack. The expectations were, before, when they had Michael Parsons, the expectations were high of what this defense was supposed to be, just considering what Eberflus was able to do in Indiana and his stops before. But then obviously the loss of Michael Parsons kind of changed the expectations. But even when you bring in Kenny Clark, okay, you're like, whoa, run game fixed, maybe. Maybe. But granted, we got to give Kenny Clark some credit. I think that they were so focused in on trying to fix the run early on that they couldn't really worry about trying to do too much, which is kind of crazy. But I think that's the thought process. Like, I think they were trying to, let's figure out how to stop the run. We couldn't do it last year. We couldn't do it the year before. Let's focus on that first. Then we can kind of trickle out and start worrying about getting some pass rush. Now I feel like they're starting to kind of take those steps and trying to expand the playbook, like Aisha had mentioned. And I mean, I would give him I'm gonna give like a C+.
That's fair.
That's fair. Like a C+ through the first 5 weeks.
That's fair though. But I mean,
I'm sticking to my C-.
You got to stop the run to rush the passer. So from us, just the way that football systematically works, that makes sense, Nicole. I mean, I think to your point about Eberflus and his success in past years, the ability to take the ball away really stood out to me. Linebacker whisperer, all those things. I do think it's going to take him a little time to establish. Again, this is a new system, so I think it's going to take him some time to establish that. Furthermore, it's going to take him some time, if he has it, however they do it, to get some of the gentlemen. He did bring some guys here, like a Sam Bourne and stuff, but I'm saying even in the draft and free agency again, for him to kind of get his style of guys in here, because a lot of the roster is what it was before from certain defensive spots. Yeah. So I think that plays a role as well. But this defense.
And even though it's not his guys, obviously when you bring in new staffs, this is if I'm applying to the job and I'm Matt Eberflus and I'm looking, I'm like, I got Michael Parsons to build around. So that's also a huge thing too, because maybe you didn't have the big names, but we always talk about how much he supported he's just the supporting role for a lot of other guys who made a lot of other people look good, who were able to get some signings. We can't pay them because they look so good next to Micah Parsons. They're on other teams and other rosters right now. So that's another part of it. I think we forget about that a lot. Like, even though we don't talk about the name too much here because obviously you have to move on. But I mean, that has to that throws a wrench.
Yeah, no, I don't know if he we don't know what he was preparing for. We don't know if he, because even listening to Shotty talk about it through the Michael Parsons situation, it sounds like a lot of people expected for him to still be here. Like that trade was fairly sudden and unexpected. And if I'm a coach, especially a defensive coach, keeping in mind that you're thinking that maybe you're gonna have this guy who you, to your point, Bree, draws so much attention, other guys benefit from. And then just pass rush in general. Again, we saw last week how much pass rush changes what a defense looks like, how it helps your secondary, and vice versa. It's interchangeable, and that's something Dallas hasn't been doing well the last, to start the season either. So it's like you lose a guy that rushed the passer that well, it does matter. So I don't know. I hope that they can figure it out because the offense is just.
And it has to feel good for the defense guy because, I mean, as a media person, we're in there after the games, right? Even they play well, but the defense it's like, hey, how do you guys help your offense? And, how do you get it to – and that's every week. That's after practice. I know they're sick of those questions, right? So it's got to feel good that we're at their locker and asking them, well, what worked this week? What changed? What conversations were being had? So hopefully, like you said, this is the first time we saw – the pass rush do what they were supposed to do. And we were talking about how even the secondary was making they weren't involved with that stat, but them being where they were supposed to be allowed the confusion there for Justin Fields. And then hopefully that carries. You saw the excitement like all around the defense. You haven't seen that. It's been kind of like, pointing at each other, looking confused. So you're hoping, again, yes, we know it's the Jets, but this is what you want. This is the foundation. They took care of business against a team that they should have. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hopefully they can do that again on Sunday against the Carolina Panthers. We're going to dive into that matchup up next here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk. We're going to take our first break and be right back.
That was fast.
It's very fast.
Be right back.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Cowboys Nation limited single game tickets are available right now. Get ready to bring the noise as you watch your Cowboys live at AT&T Stadium when they host NFC East rivals Eagles and Commanders, plus the Chiefs, Chargers, Vikings, and Cardinals. Visit DallasCowboys.com/tickets or SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
What they said again?
Get all the tickets.
Get all the tickets. It's limited tickets, y'all. Get them now.
Fill the seats.
That part.
Fill the seats.
Fill the seats. All right, wake up. Y'all know what time it is. Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk. Presented by Invisalign, Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. And we were just talking defense. I know we're going to talk more about this Carolina offense and break it all down. But first, let's hear from Brian Schottenheimer. He was asked earlier this week, actually 2 days ago. Dang. Time.
That's okay.
2 days ago, of how much of the trending upward of this defense is credit to the guys finally adjusting to their third defensive coordinator in 3 years versus the personnel changes this team has made the last couple of weeks. Let's hear what he had to say.
Yeah, I think the changes are important because I think when you make changes, you give the players confidence. I think that the fact that we're making these guys all compete every day to earn their spot, keep their spot, whatever it is. You're all right. It's kind of cool, very soothing. Man, it's still going. Skylar's still going. Hey, Skylar, just you and I, babe. Hey, just you and I were just having a conversation right here. Yeah. Yeah. Man, it's so distracting. Yeah, it was. Now I got to go back to where I was going, like see if I can make up this story again. No, but I think it starts with the changes, right? You know, we were going to make changes. I thought the coverage was way better. The pass rush was excellent. You know, I think that goes back to what we want to do. And we see we carry a lot of defensive linemen because it's important to us and goes back to the whole win the line scrimmage thing. But, you know, I think because of the pressure we were able to get, it certainly helps the pass coverage. Now, let's be honest, we didn't play the run very well yesterday. You know, and we gave up, I think, 6 explosives, and a lot of that was some of the alignments, you know. The linebackers got to adjust and move and change, and Shamar James is going to be an incredible player in this league. I really do believe that. And K9 got forced into a spot he hadn't been playing when you lose Sanborn. But I'm proud of those guys because of the adjustments that they were able to make and to go out there. And literally we held them to 6 points in the first three quarters. And obviously we played a little bit conservative late and tried to keep the ball in front of us and slow the game down.
Shout out to Skylar for that great question and Nui for the extra phone stuff.
It's so
going
funny.
On. It's fine.
Some people just ignore it, but he always plays into it.
No, he handled it.
It's
I think he handles it really well.
Always. Yeah,
But
but
human and stuff happens.
yeah, but no, obviously the changes Shotty was referring to were the personnel changes, of course, with the multiple injuries the Cowboys are dealing with. A lot of younger guys are having to step in, like a Shamar James, Wanye Thomas in from Malik Hooker. And Jack Sanborn as well. Can't forget about him. Kenneth Murray having to step in at the mic, like Aisha had mentioned, and Maris Leufeld getting some more opportunities. But the change I want to ask you ladies about is moving forward. What kind of change do y'all want to see within this defense in terms of the adjustments they need to make heading into Sunday?
I feel like secondary-wise, I think, like I said before, I think those guys that you have out there are your best unit. With Deron Bland, I think as he gets his legs under him a little bit more, hopefully I want to remember myself that since last year, he had surgery last year, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Wait, you talking about Deron?
Yeah, during the season. And when he came back, we were so he hasn't gotten to consistently, string multiple games together. And we know that corner is it's a confidence position. So I just think that unit that you have back there, to include Wanye Thomas, is probably your best secondary to start right now. And then from the second level, I think you just keep playing. Seems like you got to play these young guys right now. Although when you go back and look at the film, you'll see that Jack Sanborn, prior to him going out with the concussion, I thought that he was reading the defense well, and he was giving guys their checks and keys. Because again, to Shotty's point, when you lose a guy like that, and then Murray's responsible now for communicating everything that you're supposed to do, I think that messed up with, like he talked about, with some of the alignments. There were times that some of these lanes these rush lanes for the Jets. I'm not sure if would be there if some of the communication was better as well. And then from the defensive line, I think you just keep doing what you're doing and letting guys grow, letting Donovan Izaraku grow. James Houston is getting in, getting more snaps, getting some pass rush opportunities. I think that you just continue to do those things. I don't know if there's a whole bunch of changing you can do at this point in the season. I feel like your roster's your roster. I mean, maybe you get someone back off of an IR like a Perion Winfrey that maybe helps you do some things on the interior or something like that, from the defensive line standpoint. But really, guys got to go out there and play, because it feels like this is what you got besides a couple guys possibly coming back from injury later in the season. What you got, Bree?
Yeah, no, I mean, what do we want to change? I mean, we saw the changes. This is the best.
It's the changes, baby.
The change has been made, and like you said, you got what you got until whoever comes available, or they do go out, surprise us, and maybe add another tackle or a pass rusher. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but this is what you got. The biggest thing for me defensively, and you just heard a little bit from the soundbite we just heard from Schottenheimer, they want the best players, and it's going to be competing every day. Well, I want that to be backed up on who's actually out in the field and who's getting opportunities.
Who?
That would just be nice. They keep, what was it, the week before, me and Nicole looked at each other when Matt Eberflus was like, James Houston is pretty good. He should be out there. And we looked at each other like, is he playing? I said, you can't deny what's being out there consistently. Just having the presence. I know there's going to be some mistakes in it, but there was a difference when Sanborn was out and Shamar James came in. Having Wanya out there felt good, felt fresh, if you will, and those mistakes are going to happen when guys are in new spots and, rookies like, Shamar or what have you. But let the tape be the foundation of how you move forward, because if we're saying the best is out there and say Sanborn comes back or what have you, say Wanya keeps trending up, and then you switch other people around, well, that's not exactly what you're selling to us. So that would be my only thing, is just, stick to what you're saying. I mean, we're buying in. We saw the changes, everything you want. Now you're going on the road again to a team who hasn't lost at home yet. They're coming off a big 17-0 comeback, right? They're hungry too. They don't want to be knocked out, and people saying that their season's already over either, leaving week 6. So just build the blocks, keep building the blocks.
Aisha, what are you bopping to over there?
You got music?
Yeah, I'm over here like, are you music to
I
your
can't
ears?
sing it because of copyright, but I was listening. I was singing a song in my head.
I didn't know she was freestyling off of me.
That's what I thought she was doing, but then I was like, that doesn't sound like that. That's what she's doing.
But I agree with you, Bree, on the, play the hits. Isn't that what y'all say in the media?
Yeah.
Play the hits. I don't know what you guys say. Isn't that what we say? But even too, with the interior defensive line had some issues last week, and I think that maybe there should be some decisions made there as well.
I think you mentioned it yesterday, the day before, about Toya.
Yeah, I think you get Jay Toya out there again and see if you can, what production you can get out of him.
And Clowney, I feel like his first game is a little rusty, but we were excited. Didn't hear much about him, and he was getting moved off.
Yeah, last week he had some problems getting moved off the ball. Obviously, I knew he was always a slim trim kind of guy. But he a little lighter than what I thought he was.
He's skinty.
He's lengthy. He's lanky. Like his length, I'm finding out seeing him in person. You can go see, if you go look at tape from him a couple years ago and stuff like that. He's considerably a bigger human. So I know that they say defensive players especially, they say they have to lean out as they get older because they can't carry all that weight. However, I just felt like there were just times they just didn't play the run well. Like some guys weren't reading their keys. Some of the ends got pinned inside. The defensive tackles were getting turned, and then the linebackers are supposed to come up and fill. They got to play for each other. But so anyway, I don't know. I agree with Bree. I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen, because I just want them to be better.
All right, well, let's talk about this Carolina team, a team that just rallied from a 17-0 deficit against Miami. It was their biggest comeback in team history. So they're now 2-3 in the season. Obviously, just listening into some of the press conferences that they had, these guys are feeling a little confident.
Yeah,
obviously,
we heard it.
Rico Dowdle feeling a little confident. We love Rico over here, but hey, this Sunday we don't. We don't. What stood out, obviously, schematically about the way that Carolina attacked Miami's defense later in that game?
What you got? Well, Miami's defenses.
I'm like, they be attacking themselves sometimes.
Please.
You hear me?
They're struggling. They are struggling.
Both of y'all.
Miami's defense, I mean, like, between watching the Dallas defense, Miami's defense, and the Panthers defense, I'm
Which one would you
hurting
prefer to have?
inside. Huh?
Which one do you prefer to have? The trick question.
Probably Dallas. Probably Dallas right now.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, I mean, I don't.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
You hear me? Like, there's some light. You see a little lamp over there. But what stood out from how they attacked, I mean, I think that Bryce Young, in his young career, he is still trying to find rhythm. I think he was able to get into a little bit more of a rhythm, build some confidence, like you said, Nicole, like you said, Bree. I think that that offensive line has a lot to do with some of the foolishness going on over there for him, and that he feels sped up. And the thing is like, these guys aren't like bad players. It's just I don't think they operate well as a unit all the time, if that makes sense. So I think they found some success, obviously, running the ball. Rico Dowdle had a huge day last week, and that really tells the story. This Carolina Panthers team is they average 20.4 points per game. That's 24th in the league. And I think that Rico Dowdle last week had, 288. No, I lied.
206 rushing yards on 23 carries.
Yes. But on the season, but that's the thing is, like, most of his yardage came from that game.
Absolutely.
Because on the season, 51 carries, 289 yards. So,
Well, they have Chuba Hubbard, and he actually went out with the calf
And
strain.
that's why.
and that's why and that's why. So I think that's the difference is that Chuba, we got to keep an eye on if he's going to be able to go, because that's a big part of it, because he is a guy that can come downhill at you fast. But, like, just them leaning on the run. And that's what you do when you're trying to get your quarterback comfortable. They did some play action things. Hunter Renfrow made some big passes for them. We saw Xavier Legette get into the end zone as well for them. So I just feel like the run game really helped set up some of the stuff that they wanted to do and coming back in that game. And they knew Miami couldn't stop the run, clearly. And then hopefully they don't feel like that about you. What you got, Bree?
Well,
it's an offense who knows they want to be run first, 110%. And when your number one running back goes out, they tried the 1-2 punch the first couple of games, but Chuba Hubbard was the one getting most of the carries. Trevor Etienne, the rookie from Georgia, he was a 4th-round pick this year. He's been getting in there a little bit. I expect him to see more, because you did see him get more involved this last week, obviously, because Hubbard's out. And I think Rico even got dipped a little bit in that game, came out for a couple plays, and they threw Etienne in there as well. Hubbard, like you said, does have that calf injury. It looks like he's day-to-day, so we'll keep an eye on that injury report throughout the week, because that's going to be huge.
It is.
If they get him and a Rico who's coming off, because what I was kind of seeing from the writers in that area is that they have been trying the 1-2 punch, but when you have two guys who feel and are like that number one, right? And we saw that here last year, but we had a clear number one there last season. They haven't really been able to like complement each other, right? And that's hard when you have two like clear number ones that they could be, meaning if Rico came here and there wasn't Javonte Williams, we knew who like the number one be. But people, I saw the question floating around too, like, do you guys miss Rico? Well, I mean, Javonte Williams is flourishing so much, it would kind of be hard to imagine what Rico could really bring when we're feeding Javonte Williams 20-25 carries. And I think that's the issue that they're having over there. So that is something to keep an eye out, because I don't see how you don't feed someone who just put 200 plus on the ground, even if.
Yeah.
So they're gonna slam it down the throat because coach after the game said we stuck to the game plan.
Yeah.
It wasn't working at first, but we stuck to it and it paid off. So I expect that again. And they have some early injuries with their offensive line. Their center, Austin Corbett, went down on IR. Their Pro Bowl right guard Robert Hunt also went to IR. So they have Cade May in there at center. And then they have Chandler Zavala there at right guard. Now, it's kind of similar to our situation because these aren't like rookies. These are guys who've been in the system. Cade was able to get some starts last year when they had some injuries. So there is some continuity there. And I know Aisha was talking about the offensive line kind of being an issue, but this was their strongest game. And that's why you saw those gaps opening up and what have you on there. So they do have their issues on the offensive line, but I think it's like they had, just like we had the building block for the defense, I think they had their big building block for the offensive line. And again, is that because you're facing Miami who has a struggling defense, or is it because like they're figuring things out? And I think that's a lot of the questions that we're having on our side. Like, is it because of the opponent that we had, or is it because we're figuring things out? So I think it's going to be a big test going into next week.
Well, go ahead.
I was agreeing. Go on.
No, I hope they don't figure things out.
I'm praying on your downfall.
No, literally. It's fine. I'll wish well on them afterwards. But no, talking about Bryce Young, I mean, I know we stick with the run a little bit, but actually, no, let's stick with it. Rico Dowdle, what have you seen in the difference from when he was in Dallas up until now?
No difference.
I don't see no big difference. I mean, he's who he is.
Yeah.
He's they call him an angry runner, and we saw that here. He likes it. He's gonna try to push the extra yards, right? Before, when Hubbard was in, they were bringing him in as that third down back to push the chains or what have you. Now he's taking a bigger role, and I think he's hungry. And let's not forget, he played. We talked about how he stayed composed last year, but this was a guy who's here for what, five years, okay? And they didn't want him to pay him or whatever have you, and he went to Carolina and got a couple more dollars. That wasn't a lot more than what we're paying Javonte Williams. So understand he's going to it's going to feel a little personal. You heard it on the soundbite. What'd he say?
Buckle up.
Buckle up. I don't want to buckle up.
I ain't buckling up.
I don't
know about you, Shotty, but I ain't putting no seatbelt on.
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. But I do think they're, like you mentioned, they're trying to figure things out in the passing game. They also have some injuries going on there. So they're the guy to watch for obviously is going to be Mr. Ted McMillan.
Hello.
Okay?
My God.
He is
Hello.
My God.
maybe on a one-on-one, if it's just a little bit, he's gonna make it happen. He leads the team with 24 catches for 351 yards through 5 games. He's their guy. But they've had I'm trying to think who they're missing right now. I feel like I know they're starting tight end. They're starting tight end out.
Jatavion Sanders is a tight end for them.
So they have that rookie from Notre Dame who's in there right now. I think he even had I want to say he had the winning touchdown last week. Let me see.
I got you.
Yeah, they've got some options.
And then Xavier Legette, like you were mentioning, he's been out for 2 games and he was able to find the end zone. But Bryce Young hit 10 different pass catchers in the last game. So that lets me know they don't have their one guy, but McMillan definitely leads in that room, and going to be interested to see who's going to be shutting him down, because I think if you shut him down, you're just focusing on the run game at that point.
I want to touch on Bryce Young in our next segment because he's, I wouldn't say taking a step in the, never mind. All right, we're going to be right back with more Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
How does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium, meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on October 18th at AT&TStadium.com/rallydays.
That's in like 2 weeks, right?
18.
18th?
Scraping up.
Ain't that 2
Scraping up.
weeks? Halloween's
First of all,
right around the corner.
October,
Your
slow down.
birthday's right on the corner.
It is. October, slow down.
Why?
Because it's doing too
I
much.
like this. I want to wear leggings and I want to wear boots comfortably. I'm tired of sweating in them.
Yeah, I don't like
Hot.
it.
My edges is hot and just too much.
Edges is hot as crazy.
Screaming. It actually has been a little toastier than, and it's so deceiving because in the morning you be like, oh, I need a jacket, and then by midday,
time it'd be like
then by midday you like, get this jacket off of me.
fighting for my life.
So, yeah,
Hopefully the Cowboys aren't fighting for their life this weekend.
we
hope
don't
that
have
it's
to.
the
We
other
don't
way.
have the time. I don't think.
Yeah, don't want to do that. Bryce Young, a guy who in 2024 completed 60% of his passes, over 3,300 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, but 13 interceptions. So bad. But
Wait, already?
that was last year. I said 2024. Sorry.
She said I missed the tape.
Yeah, I thought I was like, did I miss something already?
No. I said last year.
I got scared.
Over there
Sorry.
pausing
Please
again.
go
No
ahead
worries.
in the show on that.
Continue.
No. That was last year.
You.
This it's fine.
good?
It's fine.
Yeah.
This year, I believe he just has 4. So ball security's a little bit, I don't know if I want to say better because he had a fumble and an interception
he
last
put that
week
thing on the
against
ground.
Miami, and it was bad.
They looked a hot mess
Yeah,
in
he
that
saw
last
pressure.
game. That first, I said, I was looking at Twitter and I just seen the ball rolling and them chasing it. I said, this ain't right.
Yeah. It didn't look too good. But do y'all see Bryce Young a little bit more comfortable in this system, or do y'all not? What's caught your eye about Bryce Young?
The way that the offense is run like the coaches don't think he's comfortable. With respect, the way that the offense is run, I mean, you look at the passes under 10 yards and above. I mean, every throw he is making is either in the flats or the intermediate game, and then he's, the expectation is for guys to do things after the catch. But I mean, the man's deep ball stats are insane. I mean, 3 for 12. He's only has 79 yards, 2 interceptions, throwing the ball downfield. Thank God. It's not something that he does well, but we know that Dallas has struggled there. Didn't give up. Did they give up a big play last week? Yeah, I think they gave up a big play to the Jets. They gave up 1. But that's something your secondary has struggled in. Hopefully they can kind of get better because I think the safety. But I feel like they want to your point, ladies, earlier, they want to really use the play action game to give him some simple reads, some things to look at, and also to try to get him comfortable in the pocket. I think he is improving, but it's so like they're weird. They're weird because you'll watch them one game and you're just like, oh, okay, y'all look okay. And then you watch them the next and you be like,
Confused.
now what is going on here?
Yeah, just like when they shut out Atlanta 30.
Yeah, it's wishy-washy with them. It's like you just don't know what you're going to get performance-wise from them offensively. I'll say offensively, that's where more of the inconsistencies are. And their coaches this week have been talking about that. And last week, that was something that I was creeping on. Their coaches talking about, their head coach talking about being consistent, because that's the thing. You don't know what you're going to get from them. And I think that it's kind of weird for Dallas because you don't know. You know?
Yeah, I think on both ends, trying to game plan for him, that's the biggest thing, is he's inconsistent. I mean, that's just you. It could be really good or it could be really bad. And I think that's a kind of a testament to why they're leaning on their run game like they are. He can run. The brother can run.
Oh, yeah.
He's another mobile quarterback, and I know Schottenheimer says there's, and Eberflus too, they're like, we're going to see a lot of those, and this is another one. He made it into the end zone just last week. It looked like he was going down for a sack, and then you look a little longer, and he's out of it, and he's in the end zone.
Why you do like that? Why you do like
that's
that?
That's how I was watching it. That's how I was watching
You're a
it.
sicko.
But I do want to say, like, he has been missing some pieces. There was a wide receiver coming into this that they thought would probably be leading McMillan, if you will. Like I said, the rookie's kind of been starting the show, but one of their best pass catchers was placed on IR before the season even started. And he was the third down guy, the middle of the field guy, and that could be a reason why you're not seeing a lot of those. And then again, their starting tight end was also missing some time as well. So they got some injuries, and that's not what you need from a Bryce Young who's trying to figure things out when he's going to a little deeper down the depth chart, why you're seeing him utilizing so many pass catchers as you will. But they'll throw their running backs in that passing game as well.
And that's the biggest thing that I was telling you ladies offline. That's something that I'm worried about in regard to if they don't have a Chuba Hubbard, how they use a Rico Dowdle, who I think Rico Dowdle, even in his time here, was one of the better running backs you had in the screen game, the receiving game, catching passes out the backfield. Your linebackers have struggled with that this year. And if football is football, then, Carolina will look on tape and see that your team struggles with that, and they're going to really take it at you trying to do that as well. And Bree, you mentioned, I think Ted McMillan makes things a little bit easier for him in a sense, because Ted is the type of guy that you don't have to place the ball perfectly for him. Bryce Young is still working on his accuracy. With a guy like Ted, you can get away with those balls not being placed perfectly. And then Hunter Renfrow, I think, really stabilizes the middle of that offense for them. It seems like he started off having a good year with them, so a good addition on their part in the offseason. And then Xavier Legette, I don't know what he be doing sometimes. And I was very high on him coming out of the draft. But there are times you're watching him and you're just like, did you forget to play wide receiver for a couple of reps? Not finishing reps. And I wonder if they get up for this game. It's the Cowboys, but there are times that you can take advantage of him taking plays off.
Who are you deciding? Let's say X Factor, defensive X Factor. Who you got
For the Cowboys?
Yeah, girl.
Barnacles. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just need to clarify. Sometimes I gotta double clarify.
It's fine. My bad.
Early. It's early.
Wake up!
Barnacles.
Better now? There you go.
I would say.
Stressed her out. You stressed her out.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be Kenneth Murray. Depending on if Sanborn is able to get out of concussion protocol, I think it's going to be Kenneth Murray, because he's responsible for calling that second level of the defense and getting guys in position, and even the defensive line. The linebacker is a guy that sometimes helps with the alignments and making sure the defensive lines where they're supposed to be. It's a lot of responsibility. I'm not saying he's not capable. I'm just saying that would be a big change for him having to do that. And can he bounce back with having a week to prepare for it if Sanborn can't go? I would say Murray. We need him to come on with it. You need a veteran linebacker to come on with it.
Yeah.
So the Nuggets, Leofau and Shamar can adjust and grow, but you don't have a veteran linebacker playing well right now, and that's a problem.
Yeah, and I was literally gonna pick a linebacker, but I don't know which one because I don't know who's healthy and who's not or what have you.
Go ahead.
I think as a group, because that was what was a testament to what the Panthers were able to do successfully. Like I said, this was a better game for their O-line. Half of them are banged up, so they got some people who typically aren't starters, just like us, ironically enough. But these are guys who've been in the system since 2022, 2023, so they're used to playing with each other, and they were able to hang in with Miami's linebackers. Take it for what you will, for we know Miami's defense is struggling right now, but when you're talking about following them in that second level, they were taking care of the line. They were helping out. So we know what we're struggling with, and we don't have that reliable linebacker.
Well, hopefully they figure it out, because they got about 6 more. Wednesday,
How many more days?
Saturday, Sunday. 5 more days to figure it out. Cowboys 2-2-1. Carolina 2-3.
2 wins.
sounds
2 win
nasty.
teams. 2 win teams.
Is this
You know what? I'm sick of y'all. All right.
both defenses is
Hey, but we got a tie though. We're not 2 and 3. We got a
sick of
tie.
Bree's going to. That's
door.
why I don't.
It's time to-
That's why I don't like that
Don't worry
tie.
about it.
That's why I don't like that tie, because of how people be acting like.
We got it though.
I'm. On that note, this is the wrap for the show today. We'll be back here tomorrow with more Girls Talk, Boys Talk. For Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, I'm Nicole Hutchison. See y'all.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,